because I never understand. I see these fools complaining about whose team it is and things like that. Everybody knows who team is it.
Yeah.
You just want some help. I said, if you're worried about, I says, it'll come out in the wash who team it is. You go back and I watched Kobe and Shaq. I'm like, well, they arguing who team it is. I says, well, at some point, Kareem turned it over to Magic.
Yeah.
And that's part of the Lakers' biggest problem now. I said this on the show the other night. At some point, LeBron's going to have to say, AD, damn, I'm 100 years old. It's about time for you to be the best player. You're in your prime. You should be, because I said about 5 or 6 years ago, I said, that dude there is going to be the best player in the world for the next 10 years. And he's not even in the conversation anymore. Giannis is the best player in the world right now.
I've given up. I've given up on the AD having that possibility anymore. I think it's too late. I think he's had too many injuries, and I actually don't think he's gotten. I don't feel like he's gotten better. I feel like he peaked in 2018 on that New Orleans team.
I don't think he has that killer instinct. Like, you have to have a thing like, I'm going to kick your ass, and there's nothing you can do about it. And that's one of the cool things about being a great player.
Yeah.
99.9% of the time you step on the court, you're the best player out there. Like, in today's game, if you're Steph Curry, you're the best player at 99 unless you're playing against LeBron or Giannis, but you're still the second best player out there, and you want to put on a show. But you have to have a mindset like, I'm here to put on a show too. Yeah. I want everybody to know I'm the baddest MF out here right now. That's it. But that's where that little killer instinct come in. Like, I want these people in Sacramento to know I'm the man when I come to town. When we go to Seattle, I know y'all got Gary Payton and Sean Kemp, but no. Them brothers ain't on my level. So that's the responsibility. Like, when I got to see a great player, I couldn't wait to get to the arena. Because I was like, y'all think this guy is great. I'm going to show y'all some shit out here tonight that y'all can't handle. And like, because part of being a great player, you got to have an ego. You got to have an ego. Everybody who's great at something has an ego.
Well, that was like when Bird in his peak, the West Coast trip, because he only got to play those cities once, and they all had a bunch of forwards that couldn't guard him.
Yeah.
And the whole trip, he's like, I'm lighting it up for 2 weeks. Jordan was the same way. Like, this is my one chance to go through the West Coast and basically lay the smack down on an entire coast.
And the same thing when the Lakers came east, when Magic and those guys came east. You're like, we want everybody to know we're the Lakers. And like every time the Lakers came to town in Philadelphia, it was like, man, these dudes trying to kill us. They want everybody to know they're the Lakers. But that's part of responsibility when you're great at something.
I knew we were in trouble with Davis last year when he put on all that weight. He put on the muscle. And it's like, why are you changing who you are? We saw you in the bubble. You were dominant. You had a chance that you were flirting with like borderline Pantheon stuff, and then he sucked in the last game. But then you go back to the New Orleans, everything's above the rim.
Yeah.
Everything is playing off Rondo, and just everything is attack the rim, and then his little like 10-foot game. When I see him, like I went to the game Thursday night, he's just perfectly happy to just chuck up a 20-footer.
Yeah.
And not try to take advantage of, like, he's got these McHale arms and he's got drop steps. He's got all these things he can do. And it doesn't seem like he wants to tap into it sometimes.
Well, I think the one thing that surprises me and shocks me is that he's around LeBron. And LeBron talks about he spends $1 million on his body a year.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, man, you gonna get to play with that dude?
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be like a sponge to LeBron. I'm like, yo, man, whatever he's doing, because no disrespect, I don't think AD is gonna be in the league at 40 like LeBron is after 20 years, because he's been injured so much. But if I play with a guy like LeBron, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do what he does. Whatever he has for breakfast, I'm eating it. Whatever he has for lunch, I'm doing it. Whatever he has for dinner. If he's going to lift weights, hey man, can I tag along with you? I mean, that's what I would do. That's what part that disappoints me.
Yeah, that was the Redeem Team doc. They had that part about when Kobe shows up and the young guys like Carmelo and LeBron and Wade, and they were coming back from the club, and Kobe was going to work out at like 5:30 in the morning. Yeah. And they were like, wait, what's going on? And by Friday, they were working out with him. And then they go through that experience. They go to the next season. LeBron wins the MVP. Wade has the best season he's ever had. Yeah. Carmelo almost makes the finals. And it was all because by osmosis, they were around that. I felt like that was happening for Davis the first full year he had with them. But now I don't know. And it seems like the way you were pretty good about what you talked about with Westbrook, although I think Westbrook gets some of the blame because it's what the money's for. Like he opted in, he knew it was a bad situation, he took it. But I do think he's been scapegoated with those guys. They've tried to trade him all summer. Everyone knows LeBron is going to stamp any sort of trade that's going to happen. They picked him. They were the ones that wanted to trade for him. And it's definitely, the whole thing is one of the weirdest NBA situations we've had in a while.
Well, the last 2 years, last year was Russ and Frank Vogel.
Right. How was that Frank Vogel's fault?
I know. I mean, he won a championship a couple years ago, but
yeah,
unfortunately, Bill, we're in a situation now where somebody has to take the blame.
Yes.
It's really sad and unfortunate, but that's just how it is now. And Russell is the scapegoat. It's funny. None of those guys on that team can shoot, but you only hear about Russell because that's the narrative now.
Yeah, Patrick Beverley's throwing up grenades. Those things are like these are hitting the side of the backboard.
But so is Lonnie Walker.
Well, he could never shoot. Why'd they even sign him?
But you never hear about that.
Yeah.
I think the Lakers, they've been 10 for 50, like 3 games in a row that they've lost. I'm like, Russell didn't shoot the other 40, did he? But that's all. That's the only narrative.
Well, so how does it play out then? What do they do with it? Because to me, it seems like it's heading toward leave of absence. Russ is going to take a week off and then we'll just never see him again, and they'll trade him in like February. And I think Utah is going to be the team they trade him to. Well,
I think first of all you got to do something because there's too much distraction. First of all, I feel bad they unbroke his spirit.
They did.
Russ, I said the first time, I said, man, I feel bad for Russ. They unbroke his spirit because he don't play the same. He don't have the same joy. And you can just see it in his thing. He don't have the same joy anymore. But you know what? They got to move on. Whether they send him home and pay him. The Rockets did that with John Wall last year.
You can't do that though because you could do that, but you have to turn him into an asset because I think they made that deal with LeBron, right? If you do this extension, we will trade Westbrook.
But you can't give up a lot to get him.
No, but they have the 27 and 29 first, which everybody wants because they're one of the most, erratic organizations in the league. So you want their picks, you want to trade with the Kings, you want to trade with the Lakers. There's certain teams you just want their picks.
I agree. But if you're one of those other teams, Russ is gone after this year.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you anything. I'm going to give you junk. I mean, of course they want those picks. But there's the Wembanyama piece to it, though. If these teams, Wembanyama and Scoot. They don't even have their pick next year.
The Lakers don't. No, but I'm saying if you're Utah, you're almost trying to make your own team worse this year because it gives you a better chance to get those guys, right? You watch Utah, they have professional basketball players.
You probably shouldn't start 3-0 if you're trying to tank.
Well, that's the thing. So Danny Ainge has to throw his body in front of me. He's like, oh my God, Jordan Clarkson, Kelly Olynyk, what have I done? These guys are playing too well.